junior developers are really cooked, really, really, really at this point. Um, the speed at which the AI is going in terms of influence, how it's influencing the managers and all that, it's crazy. Even people who are so technical and been in the industry for a while know there is no such thing as magic, are falling for this, and they are changing how they hire people, who they hire, and that is gonna cause a huge issue for people who are just getting into development, just doing computer science and all that stuff. And to make it worse, because people think they're missing out, they are gonna start taking shortcuts and just rely on AI so much that they're gonna not pay attention to the critical thinking skills and problem solving and the fundamentals of programming, because they think they're missing out and they need to use AI. They need to use AI for everything, um, from just writing boilerplate to actually just download cloud and then let it manage their whole code base and technical debt, how the code is written, and proper engineering techniques. None of that. They don't care about that. It's just from A to B. Um, and if they can't get from A to B, well, just start again. Just keep going in circles instead of actually trying to learn and like guide the AI. There's a difference between guiding the AI and letting it do everything for you. There's a difference between saying, oh, this is wrong, fix it, versus saying this is wrong because X, Y, and Z, and this makes no sense. This is going to cause technical issues later on. The issues with the speed because it's making a call to the external API and the external API is slow, and it'll cause issues because of the timeouts and all that. You can't say that because you have not learned the fundamentals, and you're gonna just keep going in the loop, keep going in the loop, keep going in the loop, and then ultimately you might end up building something, but technically it's going to be so horrible. Just because in tech world, just because it works, it doesn't mean it's good solution. When you become a proper engineer, you start to realize that when you have this many millions coming in the revenue, you got to think a little bit. You can't make these small mistakes just because it works. Just because it works during the day and it's not slow, um, it's not an issue, even though it's just crazy. It's just super bottleneck the whole night. It just, the queues are just jammed like crazy. That doesn't mean it works. You got to think like that as well. And people who are just getting into tech and just relying on AI completely like crazy, they're gonna have these issues. And um, well, the whole point of this video is that junior developers are cooked, and that's true. And the only way to get out of that, um, is to actually do things a little bit traditional way. Actually, spend time learning. Whether you used to learn through AI or learn through something else, documentation, tutorials, YouTube videos, and all that. But you gotta learn. You have to know the fundamentals to operate AI. You don't need to, like, if you're just driving a car, you don't need to know every single thing about the car, but you need to know how to operate it. And not just operating, you need to know how to drive it on the road as well. But so that's, if you kind of compare that to AI, you have, which is way more complicated, and just programming is also way more complicated. You got to think, how do I operate this properly? What skills do I need? And the answer is, you got to need fundamentals, man.